So today we're going to talk about how to make money as a notary. So you're commissioned, the envelope shows up, your commission is official. You order the stamp, the journal, and you set everything on the kitchen table. You sit there and you look at it, and the phone doesn't ring. Not that day, not that week, maybe not even that month. If that is where you are right now, I want to say something clearly. That doesn't mean you made a bad decision. It means the state finished its part, and the part that belongs to you has not started yet. Getting commission gives you permission to do the work, it does not create the work. So, in this video, I want to walk you through the first moves that turn a commission into something people can actually hire you for, not theory, the actual sequence. Quick word on where it comes from. Hi, I'm Jessica, and that's me on the screen there. I built my notary work from scratch here in Central Texas, and I've completed more than 8,000 closings and 21,000 notarizations. Everything I'm about to tell you is what I learned doing it. And the first thing you have to do is stop treating every kind of notary work like it is all the same thing. The commission is not the business. Choose the first service you will actually sell. There are four different revenue lines people talk about, and beginners tend to hear them as one job. They aren't. Start with general and mobile notary work. For most new notaries, that is the most direct use of an active commission, and it is subject to your state's rules. Then you have loan signing, which is another starting point, remote online notarization, and apostille facilitation. Every one of those can become an additional revenue line later, but each one has its own research, its own setup, and possibly its own authorization or training requirement. They are not four buttons on the same machine. So please don't try to launch all four in one weekend. You can, but I recommend against it. I have watched people spend $600 in a Saturday buying into three specialties they were not ready to deliver. Pick the one you can perform correctly and confidently right now. Then define it. What is your service area? What are your hours? What kind of appointment are you offering? A customer needs to be able to look at you and understand exactly what they are hiring you for. I am a notary is not an offer. I am a mobile notary serving these three cities, evenings and weekends is an offer. And I have to say this in every video because it is true in every video. Requirements and fee rules vary by state. Confirm yours through your own official state source. Once you know what to sell, you have to know what the customer is actually paying for. Choose the one service you will actually sell. There are four different revenue lines people talk about a lot online, and beginners tend to hear them as one job, and they aren't. Start with general and mobile notary work. That's my recommendation. For most new notaries, that is the most direct use of an active commission, and it's subject to your state's rules. Then you have loan signing, which is also another starting point. You have remote online notarization and apostille facilitation. You can even drill down further into specialties like estate planning. Every one of those can become an additional revenue line later, but each one has its own research, its own setup, and possibly its own authorization or training requirement. They're not four buttons on the same machine. So please do not try to launch all four in one weekend. I've watched people spend $600 on a Saturday buying into three specialties they were not ready to deliver on. Pick the one service you can perform correctly and confidently right now. Then define it. What is your service area? What are your hours? What kind of appointment are you offering? A customer needs to be able to look at you and understand exactly what they are hiring you for. I am a notary is not an offer. I am a mobile notary serving these three cities on evenings and weekends is an offer. And I have to say this in every video because it's true for every video. Requirement and fee rules vary by state. Confirm yours through your own official state source. Once you know what you sell, you have to know what the customer is actually paying for. Price the whole appointment. Separate the notarization fee from the service around it. This is where new notaries get nervous, and I understand why, so let me untangle it. There is a notarial fee which your state regulates, and then there are separate business charges like a permitted travel or convenience charge, and those are not automatically the same number. They are not governed the same way. Before you publish a single price, confirm your state's current fee limits, any disclosure rules, and any restrictions on what you can charge and how you have to communicate it. That is not optional, and that is something you cannot take from a comment section. Now, within what your state permits, price the whole appointment. Not just the moment the stamp touches the paper, your time, your distance, parking, printing when it applies, after hours availability, your actual operating costs, all of that matters. That is the service the customer is buying. And don't copy another notary's price sheet. You can use it as an example or something to start from, but their state is different. Their market is different. Their expenses are different. Their positioning could be different. You're not pricing their business, you're pricing yours. Now, here's the problem: a good price is completely useless if nobody can find you. Make yourself findable. Build a simple way to be found and booked. You need a consistent business identity, and I mean consistent. The same service name, the same phone number, a professional email address, a clearly stated service area, your hours, and a short description of what you do. If those things say five different versions of you across the internet, customers get confused, and so does search. Set up a search presence that includes a properly configured Google business profile if you are eligible for one. I am not going to walk you through the full optimization method here because that lives inside my page system, but at a minimum, get it created, accurate, and complete. List your services in the words customers actually type. Most people are not searching the word notary by itself, they are searching for the document, the situation, or the location. Keep every description accurate and do not imply you provide legal services because you do not as a notary. Then give people a simple way to book, one clear path, and tell them what information to have ready without ever asking anybody to send confidential documents to you over a public channel. This one is a non-negotiable. Never publish client IDs, documents, journal pages, or identifying details as marketing content. Not even blurred, not staged, not just a corner of it. Never. Visibility gets you discovered, but early on, you cannot sit and wait to be discovered. You have to create demand. So, this is where you ask for work early. Ask for work before you feel ready. Look around your local market and identify who already runs into notary needs. You know the categories, start listing them, or do a quick search on Google or AI. I'm keeping my full outreach cadence and my scripts inside my page system, but I will tell you the part that matters most, and that's free. Early outreach feels pointless. It just does. You will introduce yourself to 10 places and hear nothing back from 9 of them, and your brain will tell you this does not work. That is not the evidence. That is week one. Consistency is what works. Consistency beats intensity here. One big marketing burst on Monday does almost nothing. Showing up repeatedly and following up is what produces the call 3 weeks later when someone suddenly needs a notary at 4 in the afternoon. And here is a relationship most beginners completely miss. Other notaries are referral partners. They turn down work all the time because it's outside their area, outside their hours, or past their capacity. That work has to go somewhere. Be the person they think of. While you are doing all of this, stay in your lane. Do not give legal advice and do not present yourself as preparing documents when you are marketing to the public or professionals. Then, when the first call finally comes in, your process becomes your reputation. Build a repeatable experience. Use the same intake process every single time. Confirm the location, the timing, whether the signer is going to be ready, your identification questions, and what service is being requested. And notice what I did not say. You are confirming the service the client is requesting. You are not choosing the service for them or the notarial act for that matter. Confirm your quote and how payment works before you get in the car. This one saves you more grief than anything else on this list, so remember that. Show up prepared, protect confidentiality, follow your state's laws, and when a request falls outside your role, pause. You are absolutely allowed to pause. Slowing down is not unprofessional, it is the job. When the appointment is done, give a professional receipt and an easy way to reach you again. That tiny step is what turns one job into three. And ask for an honest review. Honest. Don't write it for them. A real 3 sentence review from a real customer will do more for you than anything you could script. Then stop guessing about how the business is doing and actually measure it. And I'll teach you that next. Track what produces income. Track the numbers that lead to income. Track your inquiries, your booked appointments, where each lead came from, your travel time, revenue, expenses, and your follow up activity. This is a real business, so it takes a lot. But all of this can be automated. Then look for the patterns. Which services keep getting requested? What hours actually convert? Which areas cost you so much in drive time that they're not worth serving? Which referral sources come back more than once? And please do not judge this business after 3 social posts in 1 quiet week. That is not a sample size, that is a mood. And that is the most important thing in this business is your mindset. Give it enough activity to produce a real pattern before you decide anything. You have to stay committed and dedicated for at least 3 to 6 months before making any decisions. I want to be very direct about this next part. Results may vary. They vary by market, by state, by your availability, by your skill, by your pricing, and by whether you execute consistently. A commission never guarantees income, and anybody telling you otherwise is selling you something I would not buy. But when you do have real numbers, those numbers tell you which second income streams are worth adding. That is how you decide, not from a video, but from your own data. Let's talk about and review really quickly what we talked about in this video, from commission to clients. Pick one service and price it legally. Get found, then ask for work consistently. Deliver the same way every time and measure it. Now, everything we talked about in this video can seem a bit overwhelming and a lot, but you can get to a point in your business where all of these processes are automated and you don't have to lift a single finger but to stamp and sign. And I can teach you that in my system. So here's your next step. This is where you are. Your commission is active. Now it needs a plan. The Notary Starter Guide is your next step. It walks you through the first business move so you can stop staring at your stamp and start building something around it. Pick your service, set up the basics, take the first booking. It's $5 and I priced it there on purpose because you should not be spending real money before you've made your first real decision. That is the starting point. And when you're ready to move past the starting point, I have the 90-day notary business blueprint. That one includes the first step. It includes the entire business plan, your income streams, your pricing, your client acquisition system, your workflow, all of your automated systems, week by week in order, so you're not guessing what comes next every Monday morning. It is built for the person who has decided that this is a business and not an experiment. Most people should start with the starter guide if they're still wondering, but both links are in the description, so if you're interested in either, please check there. So, here's your one action today. Get the starter guide, pick your first service, and complete one setup step, just one. The blueprint will be there when you're ready. Results vary, and your state requirements always have to be verified with your own official source. I'll see you in the next one.